the first thing you're going to have to do whenever you're going to write a program in C++ is you're going to have to tell the computer what it's going to see, or what it can expect to see in this program. It's kind of like you're giving it a little heads up on all of the commands that you're going to use in this program, and we do that by including a what is called a library. And a library is just a list of commands, usually related commands, in a program. And the way we do this is that we tell the computer what kind of library it is by typing this. We use sort of a hashtag symbol, it can be called a hash or a pound sign, and we write the word include. And this is telling the computer to include something, and what it's going to include is what's known as a library. And this library is going to include a bunch of different commands and things that you can use in your program. The computer will now recognize because we've included this statement. Then we use I guess this would be a less than sign and a greater than sign, and between these two we write the name of the library we're going to be using. And the one that we will almost always be using is called IOStream. So just remember that name, because you're probably going to have to write it a lot. So what IOStream stands for is Input Output Stream, which is just basic input and output. So it's going to be taking in commands from the keyboard and putting out commands onto this, putting out output like words or numbers onto the screen for us to use. And anything in between is the responsibility of the program. So just remember that this is a library. This one's called IOStream, and there are many, many other libraries that can include a bunch of other functions besides just taking in things and putting out things, which is basically what IOStream does. So let's say we wanted to do some math. And the wonderful thing about programming is that we can put in as many of these as we want. All we have to do is write include and the library in C++ for doing a lot of different math functions, like say taking the square root of something or taking something to a power, is called CMath. And we can just write it one after the other like this. This is how these kind of statements work, is that you can just kind of write them one after the other. And if I want to go on down to the next line, if I want to include another statement, like say there's another library you can use if you want to, say, format your output, like make it look all nice and put it in certain specific lines and make it so that your output fits in a nice, organized manner. You will probably include a library called IOManip, and you can kind of see where the name for that comes from. It's Input-Output Manipulation. So this is a library that's going to include a whole bunch of commands that lets us actually manipulate our output. So just keep that in mind. That your program isn't actually even really a program yet. It doesn't really do anything. All we've done so far is we are writing the statements that allow the computer to get ready to see a program. And we're just going to basically be exclusively working with the IOStream library in this first program. So kind of remember what a library is, why it has to be there, and go ahead and move on to the next video.